Beep, beep. What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World, and the question I get frequently asked a lot is, yo, Sam, how do I make my bassline sound unique? It seems like in tech house, all the basslines sound the same. Now, there's a reason they all sound the same, and that is because the saw, the square, and the sine and triangle waves are king in tech house. They're always gonna have good power, they're easy to make, and again, they give the most power. But in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how you can layer to make your bassline sound more unique. You can still go with the bassline everyone has, but maybe you could cut a little bit more of those upper harmonics and layer something on top that, while it doesn't have as much power, it sounds a little bit more interesting to you. And we're gonna be talking about that today in this video, as well as how to make your bassline sound more complex without making it sound cluttered. Now, this part of the tutorial is going to be inspired by a tutorial I did on Instagram, which I suggest you guys check out. I have a lot of tutorials on there that I've been doing to kind of diversify between YouTube, Instagram, and also the blog at evilsounds.com. Make sure to check it out. This part of the tutorial is going to be inspired by that. But the thing is, adding additive shots here and there to a bassline you already have, utilizing the notes it has, can also, again, make your bassline sound more complex without actually cluttering it up by going, instead of do-do-do, going do-do-do-do-do. Again, just, you know, being smart about it and using what you got already. As always, guys, if you want to support my channel, make sure to check out evilsounds.com, where you can find a lot of my sound design work, a lot of good fun stuff to play with for Serum. And with that being said, let's get started with this tutorial. All right, guys, and welcome inside of Ableton. So here I have a very basic bass beat going on. Now, the question I get asked a lot is just saying, how do I make unique bass lines in tech house? And that is really hard to do, I'm not gonna lie. But there are some tips I can give you if you wanna embark on this journey. And the first thing, guys, is try to keep the sub layer of your bass line as simple as possible. You know, go with what works already. A sine, a square, a soft, or all God's almighty, whatever you want, go for it. But from there, you can make it sound unique by messing with the mid and top layers. So there's a couple of things we can do. The first thing is, since we are going to be separating our low end away, and now we're not really messing with the low end of the track, we're messing more with mid layers, mid-low, then we can definitely open up the possibilities now, because I can do a lot of things. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is, here in this bass, let's have a similar format. Of course, we want the sub and the bass to be shaped similar, but now I can kind of maybe add a bit of punch. I can widen. That vibe that the square is giving it sounds nice. Now, if we can make that come out a little bit more, so we're going to bring the sustain. Now, if you're adamant on, like, you know what, then bass needs to be mono in tech house, which, again, we've been seeing people like Robbie Doherty doing different things, and certain tracks have wide responses. But if you want, you can go into the global section of Serum and put the width. But I like the way it sounds better like that. It sounds super ravey. And again, I'm doing stuff I wouldn't do if this was just one bass patch. So having the sub separate away from your mid-low and mid layers, which is what the listener's going to hear, and they're going to feel the sub more, is the key to making bass lines that sound more intricate, more unique, rather than the same old square that you seem to hear in a lot of Fisher-esque stuff. We can make this sound a little bit more unique by adding additive or accentuating certain parts of the bass. So we're going to create another layer now, and this one you can kind of go a little bit more open with it as well, and then we can accentuate certain parts of it. Now, this is where it starts to get a little interesting, because the bass rhythm just gets taken to another level. Simple stuff you can do is you can grab this and have it at the half beat. You can have, let's say, this maybe at the half beat, just to create more of a doot-doot-doot vibe, because we already know the top layer, this one is giving us those nice knocks there as well. So we can kind of leave that there and then mess around with that. We'll see. For now, we'll zero these out. All right, so let's see if we can maybe. Okay, and then we're just gonna go with that. And that's loud, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, and it's just making a base for it. But again, you can now get more unique with it because we can go with wavetable type of basses because we don't need the power from them. They're just going to be more there to be heard and add to the rhythm rather than for it to be felt. Let's make it loud. Let's go even further. Let's see. What's that?
DJ, drop, DJ, drop this shit.
We can add a
DJ, drop, DJ, drop this shit. DJ, drop, DJ, drop this shit. DJ, drop, DJ.
Okay, now there's another section that I can add, and that'll be the end of this video because I think I'm getting my point across to you guys. Is maybe we can even do like a little response here. Okay, so again, I'm accentuating the idea I have by just adding nice little ear candy to it. And I'm gonna open this up and maybe make a little bit of a different sound to it. And you know, for this, let's go digital. Maybe an FM sound would be nice with a bit of knock. All right, so if we go back to what we started with. To keep it simple, I could get rid of this one because it might not be needed. But again, you get the idea there, guys. But that is how we would go about in just getting those bass rhythms to sound even better, building upon what you have. You don't need to go with Fisher-esque bass lines where it's just, you know, there's definitely a style for that and it makes sense. But again, when you're making stuff like this with a groove, you really want to build that groove up. Try adding bass additive shots like that. That's how you do it. And of course, you know, Evolution of Sound, Deceiver Volume 3 will be coming out hopefully by the end of this month.
DJ, drop this shit.
And you can see how easy it is to make music with this stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoy the sounds. Deceiver Volume 3 will have a lot of that. And I hope that this video helps you guys out even further in getting your ideas to actually sound badass. If I can do it, you can do it. You guys have a good night.